everyone, Todd from Mr. Shade. I just spent a couple of days over on Fraser Island, and when I was over there I kind of had an idea to maybe put together a little install video for shade sails for you. Just tried to keep it as simple and easy as possible for you without going too crazy. Hopefully it works for you. If you have any questions or anything, don't be afraid to ask, but yeah, enjoy. We're on the beautiful Fraser coast, as you can see. We've been asked to come here on a little trip to replace a 4-point shade sail over a generator shed, as you'll see in a moment. It's quite easy. I just thought I'd give you guys a few tips on how to initially install a sail and a few on how to take it down. So once you've got your sail laid out, you want to kind of look at what positioning we have. You want to know where exactly that point is, as we have a mark point here, like I told you before. Basically this is going to tell me that I know when it's laid out, that this sail itself is going to go from here, exactly how it is now, up onto the structure. So I know that these 2 points at the back are actually my high points, and my 2 low ones at the front are going to be the ones on these posts, as you can see. Another thing you can do, guys, is check which way your seams go on these shade sails, as there is a couple of ways. They can either have them up, or as in my case, they're actually down. So my seams face down, some face, if you get a smooth edge on the top, some of the seams will face up towards the sky, and you'll have the soft side on the bottom of the sail. And the next thing I kind of want to show you guys is the fittings that we're putting on this sail. Looks, some are very different sails, are bigger, some are smaller, so you're going to have different size sort of fittings. These ones here, 8mm turnbuckles, which are just your standard sort of turnbuckles. These ones I like to use because they look pretty nice and easy to use. All this stuff is marine grade stainless, so especially out here on the coastline you get a bit of rust and stuff, so using galvanized sort of fittings and stuff is not going to go too well over the lifetime. So getting yourself some good quality product, it's going to last you longer. You're going to spend a little bit more, but in the long run it's going to get the lifetime out of it, especially with shade sails. Right, so the next thing we're going to do is attach the fittings to the sail. Then we're going to pretty much put it straight up to the point. Easy as that, so I'll show you how to do that now. You want to make sure that the pin is top, otherwise what happens is that if that ever falls out, which it wouldn't, but if it does, the pin can't escape through the bottom. It can't fall out because it's got a top plate on the top of the pin. Alright, so next thing we're going to do is pretty much attach it up to the first point of the area, which is up the top right hand corner, as I've got it attached to the top right hand side of the sail. What I kind of look out for, or when you're watching and checking for things with sharp edges, I've just noticed that this old kind of generator shed has a sharp edge on it, so you know, you can do kind of anything, tape it up, you can do whatever you want, but I usually just throw a towel on it. It just protects the sail when you're lifting it. So what I've done now is I've attached the first point of the sail to the post itself up the top here on the shed. You want to start by doing this on all 4 points. How to rope these up. If you buy yourself, it makes your job a lot easier than having to forcefully pull it up. So what you want to do is you just want to do a little loop like this. Pretty straightforward. You just go around yourself again. I usually go 3 times, otherwise it'll slip sometimes, but not for sails this size. Back through itself like a little loop, and then you just pull it tight. That way when you're pulling it up to yourself, it's not going to come undone. Yeah, just use that. So here we go. Through once. Put that through the loop itself on the sail. Down. You can go twice. I sometimes like to go 3 times. It just makes it a lot easier when you're pulling it up. Through it again. And pull it up. You can see the sail itself is starting to stretch out. And pull it up to itself. Some people like to tie these off around themselves like this. You can do like a little loop like so. And then what you can do is you can go ahead and attach your next fitting to the point of your sail. Just kind of wiggle your rope out, pull it through, and again. Now what that loop did today
before is just makes it a lot easier to undo, so you haven't got knots bunched up here. So if you'll come a bit closer here for me, I'll just show you guys. This is just a knot. The reason we did that before is it's just got like a little pull tab. You literally just pull that out, pull the rope off. Easy as that. What you want to do next is, now that we've got the sail up in position, all 4 points are up, turnbuckles are wound all the way out. This just allows for tension, so when we swage off the cable, as I'm about to show you now, what you want to do is you want to grab a couple of these. These are just, you know, 4mm. This is a 4mm wire edge through this sail, but these are 4mm, we call them wire grips. Basically, you just want to kind of take it off itself, because where we're going to connect it to now is up on the sail. So what we want to do, jump up here. Another thing now, what might I add, because I've just seen it, I'm going to make sure the D-shackle pins on the D-shackle itself is facing down. Once again, like I mentioned before, with the sail pins on the sail, if any wind comes along, if that's upside down, it can fall out. So I kind of do them up by hand. Just to start, position them. You don't really want them touching the material itself, because it can kind of rub on there and fray. You just want to make sure it's kind of center from the plate to the sail. They just look better too, and it's comfier for them, last longer. Same for the other side, you won't. I use 2, you don't necessarily have to, but it depends on how much like sort of strain you're putting on these sails over time. I use 2 just because of security, just knowing that it's all going to be okay. Some wind comes through, it's not going to loosen, and I can get some sleep at night. You don't want to use like a drill with a socket. What they can do is they tighten up, but you'll never get them undone again. And if you have to adjust the cables, which you usually shouldn't, because they should be preset to go tight once you do these turnbuckles up. But if you do want to sort of take them off again, you're better off using a shifter, because you can feel how tight they are. It's just going to be better for the thread itself, because as you can imagine with a socket, you're running it in, they're only little. Doesn't take much to thread these, and then they're just a pain to get off. You end up cutting them off, you gotta go get some more, so you're better off just doing it by hand. You can use a socket as well, a little hand socket. Just stay away from the drill if I was you. You can use it, but at the end of the day, it's your choice. Right, so once our cables are all tied off, just double check them, they all look pretty good. Now you want to make sure these nuts are winded all the way back, just so when you're tensioning. Now this stuff here is called anti-nickel seize. What this does is it stops the turnbuckle themselves binding up when they get a bit hot when you're tensioning the cables up, or the sail itself. Basically just put it on there, you know, don't be shy with it, and the more the better, because it will seize up if you don't put enough on there. And then once again, you're off to the shop to go and get fittings that you don't necessarily had to do in the first place. Put that on there. Next thing you want to do is, because these you can put something through. I'll show you, there's a little hole here, you can put something through there. I prefer to use these. Basically what it does is just try and find the right tension, block it off like so, make sure that they're running the right way. Check your threads, because if they do come undone, you've got to take the point down and put it all back up again. So just yeah, slowly do it up as shown. You'll see the sail start to go tighter as that cable pulls. You've got to do all 4 corners, depending on what sort of fittings you've got. But usually I do them up to about halfway. You can take it off, and then you just want to do the same for all other corners for itself. So we'll move on to the next one. Once you've done up your positioning on your turnbuckles and keep cables somewhat tight as best as you can do it, I'm going to pull wind these nuts back towards the turnbuckles. The other one like so. So wind it back. You grab a shifter or whatever you had before that you did these up with. Just lock them nuts off. Just kind of hold the turnbuckle a little bit and you'll feel it bite. That way, what these do is stopping the turnbuckle itself winding out in a bit of wind or something. Just saves you a bit of hassle again and damages if anything like that happens. Another thing was with this place, this was a replacement sale. So unfortunately all the other posts and stuff were here before. I would use a lot heavier posts than this. I would actually use the same size, 100 by 100, but in a steel, not a timber. And what you do get is once these sails go to a certain tension load, especially if you've got timber, they bow or flexing or whatever you want to kind of call it. What that does is the sail doesn't go any tighter after a while. Luckily we got it to a tension like we're having time, because what happens there is, I wouldn't be surprised if these probably haven't even been concreted in. They're probably just a hole, some sand filled in. It's not the right way to probably do things, especially with sails like this, get a bit of wind. But yeah, to get the correct tensioning and stuff, just do yourselves a favour. Go get the right size posts, get the right size fittings, do everything right. You're not going to have any problems when a bit of wind blows through here. Right, guys, so as you can see, we've a finished product now, sails up. I'm pretty satisfied with it at the end of it. It's all working order and it's going to do its job, I guess. Now, yeah, don't be afraid to send us a message or ask any questions if you need to. Yeah, so we're pretty much going to pack up now, go enjoy the rest of Fraser Island. Thanks for watching, guys.